Conversate for a few.
Welcome to the next episode of Conversate for a Few. I'm Juno.
I'm Alan. This is not a podcast about classical music.
Absolutely is not. This is a podcast about hip hop. What we doing today, bruh?
Let's talk about our new favorite rapper.
Okay.
Let's talk after 12.
Let's talk about it, yo. Let's talk about it. As soon as we said, I guess I'm so excited I missed my whole mouth with my little sip of water I had, really. But yo, I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. This is a bold statement that I think we making, like, and we wanted to start with our new favorite rapper without bringing gender into it on purpose, right? But it just so happens that our new favorite rapper, like one of our new favorite rappers, is a female MC.
Yeah.
Right. Can we talk about like your history with female MCs and how much, like, which ones you enjoyed, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because just truthfully, it hasn't been a lot.
Okay.
I haven't had a lot of female artists that I like. So, rappers. So my favorite, going back to like an earlier time, my favorite was MC Light.
Mm-hmm.
Then from MC Light, Latifah.
Okay.
Right? Latifah. Then Lauryn Hill.
Okay.
And to be honest, in between that, MC Light put on her girl Lynn Q, and I like Lynn Q.
Oh, I like Lynn Q, yo.
I like Lynn Q. That was part of MC Light, and then between MC Light and Lauryn Hill, you do get. Well, I did like Bahamadia and her album.
I did like Bahamadia. I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember the album.
Yeah.
But I remember liking Bahamadia as I heard it. You know what I mean? But I don't really remember the album.
Yeah, her album was pretty dope.
Yeah.
And so then it's kind of, be honest, it's kind of like a blur after that, and then I get Kim Foxy.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a group in that era.
Oh, okay.
That you was bringing up. Shauna was in a group.
Okay.
It was two female MCs. Shauna was in a group. I can't remember the name of the group, and I want to make sure. But you can go ahead. I want to make sure to throw them in that era because they was fire. When you mentioned Lynn Q, it put me in a couple other females that rhymed during that era that you was just mentioning. That was fire.
And to be honest, so as we talk about it, is actually more. There is a lot more female rappers that I have, like, because even you throwing in Shauna makes me think about, not that they was out at the same exact time, but it made me think about Heather B. and her. And she had two singles for that particular album, All Glocks Down and My Kind of Nigga featuring M.O.P. And I had the album. That album from start to finish, that was a good album.
Yeah.
And I liked her. So.
Infamous Syndicate.
Infamous Syndicate, that's the name of them.
It was the name of the group that Shauna was in. They was fire, yo. Spitters. Okay. Like spitters during that era. Like spitters. Yeah. Okay, so the people that you naming would pretty much be on my list. You see what I'm saying? Coming up, I would go back a little further. I'd probably go back to Shantae. Yeah, go back to Shantae. On the more pop side of things, I enjoyed Sweet Tea when I was younger. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like she was, but of course I enjoyed Salt and Pepper.
Yeah.
But when I really started thinking like hip hop is Shantae, is Light, is Latifah, like, and it jumps ahead. Like me and my man Val, you know what I'm saying? We was really on Infamous Syndicate hard. I ain't gonna front like we weren't on Infamous Syndicate hard. Yeah. We was on that hard. So they was up there, but they didn't have a lot of releases. And then like you said, it jumps to Foxy, it jumps to Kim. I really enjoyed Foxy. I really enjoyed Kim. I enjoyed Foxy more than Kim, just to be honest.
Me too, personally. That's funny.
Yeah, I enjoyed Foxy more than I think. Honestly, if I could say why I enjoyed Foxy more than I did Kim, is because Foxy's music was sexualized, but it was a little more dope girl, and Kim was a little more thought.
Yeah, that's great. Great way of putting it.
You know what I mean?
That's very cut and direct. Yeah. So I agree with that.
Yeah, they
I
was
was just
both
going to
dope.
say,
Go ahead.
they were both dope. It was just that Foxy to me was more. I felt like was more bar driven. She did a
Yeah,
little more. She did a little. She did a little more. She did a little less sexualizing and a little more
yeah, bar
hip
work.
hop rap.
Yeah,
Right.
she
Not too
had
much more, but a little bit.
she had fancier bars. She had fancier flourishes with her bars
Yeah,
and things.
yeah.
You see what I mean? And but there's a what we speaking to now is gonna lead into why our new favorite jumped so high on the list so fast.
Yeah.
And you already know where I'm going.
Yeah.
The reason Foxy bars that we enjoyed them the way we did is because they was coming from Jay Z and Nas.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the especially the early part. And Kim's was coming from Big, and he had a vision. You see what I'm saying? That was different than what they had for Fox. He said it was a lot more sexualized. So he was writing bars that was just nastier. And you see what I mean? But the point is the bars was coming from somewhere else. They was delivering them joints. Don't get me wrong. They was MCs. They was nice with rapping. They was nice.
Yeah.
They pen game, however, I can't really speak to their pen game.
Yeah. Now I can say that that at least according to what's my man name that was a violator?
Chris Lighty?
Chris Light, not Chris Light, but his man, the guy that was A&R for him, Nick. That was on Three Champs.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Nick, I think his name is Nix. Nix.
Yeah, Eric Nix.
He was saying how because they basically found Foxy,
right?
And when they did, she was writing her own stuff and spitting at that time. And actually, her verse, he said she didn't know how to count bars. He said so on the DMX joint. Or was it a Redman song? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But her verse up there is 8. She's the only person with 18 bars in her verse.
Yeah, because she didn't know how to count, but she wrote it. Okay,
right.
So
I just wanted to, you know what I mean?
That's important.
Our first album was, split between Jay-Z and Nas and writing.
Right. I mean, it's absolutely important though. That's an important fact because you can't just throw her under the bus like she didn't write.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what it appeared that I was doing. But you know what I mean? The bulk. I mean, for real. But the bulk of what we know,
absolutely came from someone else.
We know that it was help involved.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna be 100% honest, MC Light got help early.
Yep.
There's songs where I'm pretty sure I could tell you who wrote Queen Latifah songs just listening to the song. Like there's an era where Tretch wrote everything she said.
Right, and who's the Salt and Pepper? We know they
right. We know they was getting writers. So if we're not gonna let you be a great of all time, if you was getting help, then it's easy to understand how we can see somebody that we feel like is penning pretty much everything they write, everything they saying, and it's as nice as they are. How we can get them, how we can view them more favorably on our list than some of the greats from decades before, from eras before.
Right.
So before people start tripping, like we know Light is great and we honor her. We know Latifah is great and we honor her. We know Kim and Foxy is great. We honor them. But this little young girl, boy, she doing something I don't think they was doing.
True.
She doing something I don't think they was doing, bro.
Nah, they won't do them.
Let's go ahead and talk about who we talk about there.
Che Noir.
Okay. And you gonna say Che Noir, right? I'm gonna say Che Noir. Because I'm country. Southern.
So, but before we dive into that, I just want to get your thought on the that small conversation that we just had about penning and all of that. I just wanted to know where does Lauren fit?
Lauren was a beast, and I feel like Lauren was a beast with the pen. Lauren was a beast. She's one of the greats. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the greats. how long do I think I would have wanted to listen to, just for instance, right? Just for instance, this is because you asked the question.
Yeah.
I listened to 3 Che Noir albums
Sure.
100% back to back
Come on,
and
man.
didn't skip nothing.
Nothing.
I didn't skip nothing
Nothing.
I listened to 3 projects back to back to back, and I didn't skip nothing.
That's a fact. Me too.
I don't know that what the content Lauren is giving me is gonna make me want to listen to 3 albums of that back to back. You see what I'm saying? Hip hop wise, it's gonna put me in a zone where I'm like, okay, I want to go hear something else, cause she's talking about topics that are relevant and true, love, life. You know what I'm saying? But in my hip hop, after about an album of that, I want to hear something else.
Right. Yeah, that's understandable.
My boom bap, what Shay is doing is what I want from my traditional hip hop.
Right.
It's a little edgier than what Lauren was doing. It's not gangster rap. It's still
right.
life.
And she's covering. The funny thing, not to cut you off, she's covering all of the topics Lauren touched on and more, and giving it to you in the traditional boom bap hip hop style, and it's dope. And every song is different and they don't sound the same.
Right.
Like so. Yeah. No, I feel.
So that's kind of how I would just for like, I love Lauren, but content wise, it was almost like R&B. You see what I'm saying? Like the one album that we have to judge on, the one Lauren album we have to judge on, it was as much. It was early Drake.
Right, it was, and to be honest, the 2 songs that when you think about Miseducation that stands out, or really the 3 songs, they're going to be R&B. It's That Thing, Killing Me Softly, and the joint where they resampled Can It Be All So Simple.
That's actually an R&B song.
Yeah. That's all. That is all the way 100% an R&B song.
Yeah, that's X Factor is the name of that song.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like, really, it's like an R&B album
with hip hop features. That's really what it's like. It's like an R&B album with hip hop features.
Yo.
Yeah, what you say now?
I said that. So really, when you think about it, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill was actually an R&B album in which she happened to rap on it in some places, as opposed to it being an actual hip hop album where there was sprinkles of R&B.
That's the truth, and I give it credit. Like when she rapped on that bad boy, she let it fly.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? She let it fly. So we not to discredit her skills or what she was doing, but we just talking about our cup of tea and what we talking about our favorites, not who's the greatest, right?
Right.
That's why we said it's our new favorite, one of our new favorite artists, right? Our new favorite artist, personally. Like, so, not that we cop and please, but I just want people to understand where we're coming from. You feel me? Especially because we talking real comparatively, and I know people gonna be like, "Yo, y'all bugging," but it's just our perspective, you know.
Right. And you know what? I want to say this. You know, another reason why, because she's super talented, multi-talented, and skilled, is why we like her so much, right? But also, it's like a breath of fresh air, because every time when you look at it, for the most part, at least from the later 90s up, there's just been like 2 female artists, and they've both kind of done the same type of thing. Like it was kind of a sex sales type of vibe, both of them.
Yeah.
Right. And even up to now, from Megan to Cardi to what's the name? Nicki.
I wanted.
It's kind of like the same type of thing. So her as a female artist coming the way she is, presenting her art the way she's presenting it, is like a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? And it just shows way more. To me, it's just showing way more skills level and skills set to do what she's doing, because she's not only spitting, she's producing fire.
Yo.
Her beats, yeah.
When you hit me and told me that she produced what is it, after 12?
After 12, yeah.
When you told me she produced the whole thing, bro, I was like, wait, man. I couldn't have been more impressed. Couldn't have been more impressed, yo. And I don't know that I could be more impressed, yo.
Right.
Like,
now watch this. This is why she moves up the list so quick too. Like insane. Because you're thinking about the bars, on her albums, the topics, the concepts.
Bro,
wait a minute. You're doing the music?
Bro, I'm thinking beat selection, bars, song construction. Then I realized, then you tell me she did the beat. Not she chose the beat.
Right.
She did it. Right. And then decided this is the song that needs to be on this. And then arrange. Come on, man. And this is the product we get.
Yeah.
A playthrough. A 100% playthrough.
100% playthrough.
And the type that had you nod your head forward like it's the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Come
on. Now watch this, because this is why she moves up. All of these points that we bringing up, or really elements of her that we're bringing up, is why she moves up the list so fast.
Exactly.
Now I'm asking a question, and it's a bit rhetorical, but you so much of a music genius and nerd, you might actually know a few. Well, who's your main go-to female hip hop producer?
Wow. Missy, Wonder Girl. That's all I got.
Exactly. So okay, Missy
and Shay.
Yeah, that's the point.
And right now, if I had to go get a hit, I go to Missy. If I wanted some trap, I go to Wonder Girl. But if I wanted some fire, let's go see Shay, because I know she got heat rocks in that bad boy. You feel me? So like, yeah, I get it. That takes her high up the list, like beat making producers, like people that can get in the lab. Yo, let me tell you something, dog. The fact that After 12 is self-produced,
crazy,
is mind blowing.
It is.
It would be mind blowing. And I'm not talking about, it's mind blowing on a purely hip hop level. I don't care that she's a female. This doesn't matter. Right. Throw that out the window. Throw it out the window, bro. Like, the only person out this I mean, not the only person, but this rapping at this level and making their own beats is J. Cole. And I'd rather hear her make her own beats than hear J. Cole make his own.
Yeah, definitely would rather hear her over her own beats than Cole over his own.
Let's name people that rapped over their own beats throughout history and say who we'd rather hear rap over their own beats over her. How about that? Male or female? Jermaine Dupri, I'd rather hear Shay rap over her own beats.
Definitely.
Pete Rock, I would rather hear Shay rap over her own beats.
Large Pro.
Rather hear Shay rap over her own beats.
Shoot, man.
Throw them out. And I'm not being funny. I'm just being serious. No. Like, I love these people. But I'm telling you, what she's doing production-wise and what she's doing bar-wise, she giving these niggas work. Who?
Dre.
She working Dre. She working Dre lyrically. This is not even close.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not even close. Beat-wise, Dre is phenomenal, but she working Dre lyrically. It's not even close. I'd much rather hear her rap than hear Dre rap. So that's a little close, because Dre's beats are just like on some otherworldly stuff. But like,
yeah.
But still, yeah, like Dre, that's hard. That's a hard one. Mm-hmm. That's a hard. But we talking about Dre, and we still saying lyrics that she gonna watch that dude. So it ain't even close.
Right now about the man. So I got two more.
I already know one of them.
I know one of them is going to be because they just super traditional hip hop, right? But beat nuts.
Give me Shay.
Juju and Psycho Les.
Give me Shay.
Shay. Yeah. All right, and then my last one, Q-Tip.
Give me Tip.
Okay, that's the one, but that's good though.
Yeah, give me Tip. Like, she ain't. I don't want to hear that. Like, I would give me Tip. Like, that's you going too far. We going too far. Okay, but like that's like Kanye. I'm gonna take Kanye. You see what I'm saying? But that's like it takes a lot, bro.
Let's yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot. It's a
But
lot of rappers that
right,
I was a rapper that made my own beats. You see
yeah.
what I'm saying? I didn't understand how hard that is.
Mm-hmm.
And to be and to rap at her level and to make that shit, nigga.
And she's on her way though. That's what I'm saying. Like she's on her way.
Oh yeah.
She's gonna become on like some Q-tip, yay type. She's gonna reach that level of I'm talking about of artistry of
Yeah, she
rapping
might
and
right.
producing.
Right.
Like,
Not saying she might reach that level of stardom. Hopefully she does, but
right, not
that
level
skill level
something.
and artistry, yes, I can see
Yeah,
I can see her reaching that level. From where
yeah,
she at right now,
yeah.
some money on top of that production, and she able to stretch out and add real strings and get busy, real bass lines and hire musicians and shit, man.
Yeah, 'cause she's doing amazing work, man.
Man, she working, bro.
I listened to After 12, and I ain't gonna front, man. And the reason why I be skeptic, and this is so funny, like I be skeptic when it comes to female rappers because I felt like I'm so used to all of them doing the same thing. Like, okay, here's just another one. Like,
Yeah.
and so I don't know where it's going to go. And we haven't had a lot of super dope, legendary hip hop female artists. We named some,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm saying when you think about how many male
artists,
artists
yeah, right.
in comparison, it's like crazy imbalance. So like I be angry front, I be worried. So like I've listened to the intro, all right. So I listened to the first track. I'm like, yo, this is fire.
Yeah.
That's what makes me nervous though, because
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, is the next one gonna be something whack? Like I'd be worried if they're gonna keep it up because I'd be rooting. I was like, yo, I'm really hoping this whole thing is crazy. So it's only I think 7 tracks on this or
Right.
After 12. So I'm like track 4, track 5. I'm like, all right, 2 more to go. Man, not all of them joints out the park. I'm like, this album is phenomenal.
Yep.
This joint is crazy.
Yep.
And it's better than most people. It's better than most people albums is out. So I'm like, immediately what I do, I gotta go. I said, let me go listen to her other albums.
Right.
So I go to the other 3 albums, then the mixtapes. I'm like, damn, everything she's doing is dope. Then I found out she produced the whole After 12.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like she's different, son. She's different. She's getting better and better with the pen.
Yeah.
And she's going to get better and better with production. And saying all of that, I always like to give credit. And I'm not saying he is responsible exactly for her, but I definitely think he has inspired her, and I'm sure he helps coaches her because he's older and he's been in the game longer.
Mm-hmm.
But 38 Spesh, like, because he's the one that raps and does production.
Yeah, she reminds me. She reminds me of a Spesh.
Right, right. So, and that's dope if we can get female 38 Spesh, especially if she takes it to a whole nother level, which it seems like she is.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, this is you use the word refreshing. This is definitely that. It speaks to something that came up in our misogyny and hip hop conversation though. The fact that you can tie her career to Trust and 38 Spesh, right? And we was talking about women that come in the game with male cliques. And that male clique protecting them in a certain way or guiding them in a certain way. You can guide them towards the more sexualized rap. You see what I'm saying? Thought rap. You know what I mean? Or you can guide them towards being a well-rounded human being as an artist. And allow them to flourish and do what they do as an artist without selling sex. You see what I'm saying? You could be as sexy as you choose to be if that's what you choose to do. If you choose not to show that, then that's your business. But whatever art you want to show is what you show. You see what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But it's important to what team you come in the game with. And I think it's important, male or female, what team you come in the game with. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to hold you some integrity. You know what I mean? It's going to be like, you are you a slut bucket though? Because if you are, that's cool. If that's what you see what I'm saying, like if that's how you want to rock and that's what you know what I mean, how you get down, But if you want to go home and be not that, but this is what you go and selling, then I don't know how cool that is.
Right, right.
But that's just like a male rapper. If you are you really a thug? If you not that and you just out here front, are you really drinking all this lean? Are you doing all these Zans? But if you start singing about it, but then you go to the crib, you're like, yo, I don't even drink. Like, you lame.
Yeah, that is corny.
So
Yeah, that is corny. You know what I mean? And so I'm glad you brought that point up because that speaks to, I think, as far as our eyes can see, right? That 38 Spesh and Trust are doing have some integrity.
Yeah. Seems as such.
Right, and letting her be herself, express herself, and really pushing for her.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And so that's a great thing, and hopefully, I'm hoping we get a female GOAT out of this. I'm gonna just tell you, that's what I hope this ends up in.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't see how we don't with somebody like Rhapsody leading the way currently.
Right.
And we hadn't mentioned her to this point, and I wanted to make sure her name was mentioned because she's a beast, and she's putting in that work, and she's with a team that I feel like protected her as a woman coming into the game. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of similarities there. Her stuff is a lot less street to me than it's a little more artsy. Yeah, Rhapsody's a little more artsy than Shay. Shay's a little more straightforward boom bap. Now, Rhapsody is boom bap to the core, don't get me wrong. It's just a little more artsy in the articulation of it. It's a little more jazzy.
Right, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? It's fire, don't get me wrong, but just a little more jazzy. But I believe a woman like her coming through, being able to make the noise that she's making and get the acclaim that she's making without selling herself short as a woman, I think paves a way for somebody to come through like Shay. With that same level of artistry, presented a little bit differently, but with the same amount of integrity. You know what I mean? Just like Nicki paved the way for Meg and Cardi.
And so hopefully with that we will see a new wave of female artists coming from them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Giving us, that kind of and that's cool because that's not cool. That's great
it's
because
important,
that's what for so long, whenever female artists have entered the game, it's been so one-sided.
Yeah.
Like they can only be one identity.
Right.
They can only be marketed as selling myself, like over sexualized. Like that's the only thing they can do, which in a way takes away from what actually may be their talent with words and painting concepts and etc. So I'm glad for Rhapsody to pave the way for Che Noir to come and for them together to pave way, just create a whole new wave of another type of female artist, just showing that they can go outside of the box that originally the industry had set for women. That if you come out, you kind of have to be this way.
Right.
At least into the 90s, because the earlier you go back, it's not like that.
You hit the nail on the head. Because I was about to say, well, the industry they originally didn't do that, but after that, when the money came, they was like, okay, we gonna paint the dudes as criminals 100% and the women as sluts 100%, and that's what we going with. And we are breaking out of that with rap. I ain't gonna not starting with Rhapsody, and I'm not gonna say sluts. You know what I'm saying? Because I call men sluts too, so I'm gonna say it how I feel like saying it. But Remy wasn't that type of rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we got flashes of people, but like I said, Joe held her down. He let her be a fierce. Yeah, he didn't. It didn't seem like he required her to sell herself. He let her be a well-rounded person. Whether it was more street or more, you know what I'm saying, whatever it was, what she wanted to represent seemed like she didn't get nudged in one direction or the other. I don't know that Nicki got nudged, but I do know that if you look at early Nicki,
Well, I
If
think she did.
it would appear, that Nicki got nudged.
Yeah, earlier Nicki, that was different.
Was more in line with Remy.
Yeah. Hmm.
Was far more in line with Remy. Remy was doing what it seems to be Rhapsody and Shay are headed
Yeah.
in direction, just laying a path. You see what I'm saying? But I think when they got hold of Nicki, they was like, "Yo, you too pretty for this. We gonna
Gives you some implants, number one.
yep."
No, because that did happen. You know what I mean?
They
But
implants on top and bottom.
right, yeah,
They hourglassed her up,
right,
and she started taking little Kim pics,
yep,
and literally little Kim pics.
literally,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, it ain't a shot. It's just what the industry does to our women.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what Meg would rap about if it wasn't.
What she rap about?
What would she rap about if it was you? Like, I can't. I don't. I had no
Yeah,
I don't have no. There's no reason for me to listen to it.
right.
It ain't for me.
Yeah, it's not for me.
You know, and that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. But you can't be one of my favorites if it ain't for me. Like,
Right, and you okay, that's cool, and you shouldn't. I don't feel like it should be that this is the only type of way. See, that's my problem when it's like this is the only kind of way that a female artist can be. You know
right?
what I mean?
That's
Like,
crazy.
you know what I mean? That's crazy. Yeah.
And that's what you see. That's the face of female hip hop.
That's what I'm that's yeah, that's it right there.
That's the face of female hip hop. Just like to the world, just like we was talking about black people to the world, what they see it hip hop being a representation of young blacks.
Hmm.
They see us with right now dreads, a bunch of jewelry, a lot of drugs. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And women that's starting it hard. Or hot
Yeah.
girls or whatever it is. You see what I'm saying? But that ain't who you typically run into on the street. Not if you run into somebody that's being themselves.
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like if you run into people that's acting like they on TV, then that's a whole different thing. But
True.
you know, but it's definitely a breath of fresh air, bro. To turn on hip hop. I'm gonna tell you, and this is the truth, and I don't know that I would even feel this way. I don't musically, right? It's akin to what you get from Griselda. Would you? Oh shit. Would you agree?
So you have froze. Can you run
Okay.
it back?
Yeah. So musically, it's akin to what you would get from Griselda.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You mean Che Noir's doing?
What Shay's doing musically is akin to what you would get from Griselda. But what I
Right.
find when you listen to Shay though, and you listen to what she's saying, and you get into the content, it's a whole lot, dare I say, deeper and introspective and
Yeah.
realistic, and there's more life gems in it. You see what I mean?
Hmm.
It's more vulnerable.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? It's not as gangster, but it's as traditionally street as Griselda.
Hmm.
You know what I
Which
mean?
is why, she fits perfectly where she is too.
It's
Yeah.
a balance to the insanity that they
Right.
talking about. It's a real
Yeah.
life version of it. You know what I mean? But you know
There's
how
a
like
beautiful balance within the balance.
it's a
Of
balance within
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
She's yo. And it's
Yeah.
what it's really, 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 bro. This ain't the toot our own. It ain't to your horn, my horn, Black Malicious horn, or nothing. But it's very, very similar to what we was doing when we was in the lab.
Wow.
It's life. We switched. They was talking about hardcore hip hop.
Yeah.
For a while, we branded our music lifecore.
Hmm.
Cause it's not hardcore. It's life. It's just lifecore. Like it's really. It ain't. We not trying to be hard. We not trying to be gangsters. We not trying to be drug dealers. We not trying to be doing. You know what I mean? But what we telling you about is the real life that goes on. Some of that shit gonna be a little bit more violent. You know what I mean? And some of it is gonna be. You know what I mean? Because it happens. But it ain't gonna
Right.
be. We not blowing it out of proportion. You know what I mean? We telling stories about what
Yeah,
happens to the young black people, and that's what she doing.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. When you think about it, when you say it like that, that is. So you think about let's say even with Trust, because now Ransom is with him,
Mm,
right? So like
that's a hell
say
of a pickup too.
I know, man. It's looking good over there on that side. They doing some work.
Whew.
You hear me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when you look at okay, a Ransom, uh, 38 Spesh, think El Camino. When you look at them, but then you got Che Noir that's a little deeper, more introspective, but still the traditional street
Mm-hmm.
style, right? And that's the same thing. Like when I looked at you all, like looked at Black Melody, like I know Maker is going to be a little more, a little more street drug dealer talk, and I know Slice is going to kind of be like that. Brom,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like you with the Young Guns, it's a
Mm-hmm.
different. It's going to bring a balance. Either you know what I mean, you Rom, New.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a little bit different, deeper, more introspective.
Yeah.
So there's a balance there. So I mean that's a great yeah, that's a great observation, I think, on your part.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I will say also is that I'm going to make a musical prophecy. We're going to get in future, in a little while, we're going to get a trifecta project
Oh.
because all of three of these
Mm-hmm.
are so
Oh God.
so kin. We're going to get a. First of all, we already have had a Benny, a Trust, and a Griselda because we had a Benny and a 38 special project called Stabbed and Shot.
Yep.
That's when I first was finding out about all of 38 special, all of their back catalog,
Right.
all of Benny back catalog, right? And so, but we're going to get a Trust, Griselda, and Flea Lord, which his crew I think is called the Mob, and
Okay.
it's a few of them. And I'm saying that because they all have already done multiple songs and featured on each other projects. And Stove God Cooks,
Yeah.
Stove God Cooks, Flea Lord, the Griselda lined up, and um, Trust. We're going to get an amalgamation,
Yes. And
an album of
add
them.
Black Sopranos to that universe.
Black, oh yeah, BSF,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. So
With
you gonna get
King
Trust,
and
Griselda.
High, yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna be
right.
so crazy.
Trust, Griselda,
Yep.
Black Soprano, right?
This is that universe conversation that we was having the other day.
That is.
The universe of producers and artists working together, like this is that universe conversation that we had. I ain't gonna have it here, and we gonna because we got. I might write that down and send it to somebody. Be like, yo, here's a free marketing program. When you need another one, I need some buckets.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
The up and it's funny because all of these, let's be clear, this ain't
mm-hmm.
New York City. This ain't the five boroughs. This is
Facts.
upstate.
Facts.
That's dope. And they have with over time at least, they have shown that they have more locked in unity
Yeah.
than what is going on in the five boroughs.
Yeah. Far more.
Because
Far
this
more.
their
Yeah.
movement have made the city, the five boroughs, try to get back on,
They
you know,
they they hip hop.
they hip hop.
Yeah, yeah, they hip hop. Yo, for real, like real hip hop right now lives in upstate New York.
Fact.
Period. It used to live in the boroughs. It does not. The
No,
boroughs is doing drill and trap.
that's a fact.
The
Yo,
boroughs,
yeah, the five boroughs is definitely doing drill and trap,
yeah,
especially heavy in Brooklyn.
heavy in
Got-
Brooklyn.
yeah.
They doing drill and trap. That's it. That's it. So
Wow.
traditional
Look at that.
hip hop. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Traditional hip hop lives in upstate New York, Buffalo, Rochester, Niagara, all that. You know what I mean? That's where.
Look, so you know how like there can be a goat in every era and stuff like that. Like when people mark where hip hop started or different genre or different generations of hip hop. This upstate New York
Yeah,
movement,
I'm proud of them.
traditional. I'm super proud
Yeah,
of
I'm
it.
proud of
But
them.
it's like a new star or a new era
It is.
in hip hop.
It is. It is because people that's gonna hear this is not gonna remember the first time it came through. It's people that's getting it right now that ain't gonna know nothing about the first time this type of music came through.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So this is gonna be this is gonna mark a new era, and it's gonna be from there. We might be looking at the Bronx of the new era. Is Buffalo the Bronx of is Buffalo the Bronx of the new era of hip hop, traditional hip hop?
Absolutely.
Cedric Ave out there, bro.
Absolutely. You know, and yeah, Cedric Ave, and you know who Cool Herc is?
Who?
West Side Gun.
They're gonna give it to DJ Shay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna give it to Shay, but I respect that.
That's true.
I respect that. They're gonna give it to Shay, but I respect that. But the Russell Simmons is West Side Gun.
West Side Gun for sure.
Sans the handsy shit.
Oh yeah.
Sans the handsy. We can call him the Rick Rubin. How about that?
Yeah.
Call him the Rick Rubin. That's fucked up. We can call him the Rick Rubin. Russell don't get no love no more, man. Russell like in the streets, Bucky. But yeah. So that's nuts, man. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of it, yo. I'm proud of it. That's gonna be a hell of a legacy, yo. They really are bringing New York back.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm thinking. I'm just thinking of how that just flip flop, and how they bring in New York back, right?
Yeah.
And really redefining the sound for New York. Like, first of all, let's be clear: the five boroughs they had lost their identity before drill. They constantly, well, I will say they have continuously over time been in identity crisis.
Yeah.
Like when certain music popped off in the South movement, everyone tried to kind of get on that wave. You know what I mean? With drill trap, everyone kind of tried to get on that wave. So much so that even the artists were saying, "Yo, why don't while I'm talking about some New York artists were saying for Mano the Fabulous, they were saying like, why don't we do our music anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's be New York. We're New York. Let's be New York. Stop trying to be like everyone else." But upstate, you know what I mean, which would seemingly to them be their little brother, help them find their identity or redefine the sound, that hip hop sound that has for so long defined New York.
That's a fact. I have a quick theory on why that was able to happen though. It all boils back to money. Once a certain level of money came through, a certain, like 50 Cent pretty much ruined the identity of New York. 50 Cent and Ja Rule era pretty much ruined the identity because a New York rapper's thinking I can blow. I want to blow. So the songs got more sing-songy. They got lighter. They got, you know what I mean? Like, they were still pretty much traditional hip-hop, but it wasn't really, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't really. So what does a rapper that wants to be at the top of the game do after 50 and Ja Rule in New York?
They're gonna chase hits.
They're gonna chase hits, and the hits started coming from different places. So they started chasing the sound. Fat Joe is one of the reasons this happened. Make It Rain and all that good shit. They started chasing it. Lil Wayne came up there and gave them access with the Dipset boys, and then them boys after 50 was over, they was like, "Yo, we out of here. We doing everything they doing."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what happened. And meanwhile, they was never gonna give Buffalo no love. I don't care if they had changed the sound to match what was on the radio. Buffalo wasn't getting no love until Buffalo found some love on its own.
Yeah.
And they went out and found it on their own. And that's why they was able to dictate what their sound was gonna be. You see what I mean? And New York wasn't willing to do that. New York had got a taste of the bag.
Yeah.
Doing it the other way. And that bag drugged them all over America.
Or whatever. Yeah.
all over America. 50 Cent, that bag drug him to the West Coast. Cause while Get Rich or Die Trying is an East Coast album, it's produced by Dr. Dre. You think it don't got some West Coast sound on that bad boy?
Yeah.
It's a hybrid. That's why it works so well.
Mm-hmm.
Game was a hybrid. That's why it worked so well. We started getting hybrid music out of New York. Hit music. They wasn't worried about the sound no more. Does it sound like a hit? That's what they was worried about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Does
So
it sound like a hit?
does it sound like a hit? So that's what we ended up with. That's why Griselda and Buffalo was left with a situation that they could come rectify the sound from outside of the boroughs. They couldn't have done this from inside of the boroughs.
No.
Because somebody would have been dead steady telling them, we can't make no money with this. We can't make no money with this. We can't make no money with this.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't going to work inside the boroughs. This had to come from outside the boroughs.
So that's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm. And it's I think part of the reason that they're allowing their artists to be who they are. That speaks to that integrity. There's no reason for them to step outside of bounds. What they sticking to their guns is what's working.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's so this is also something to be studied by other artists who are struggling with, do I conform and do what everybody else want me to do, or do I stay true to really what I want to do?
Right.
This is a good testament of integrity and staying true that Griselda has done, because it's like, not only were we able to pop, doing it our way and sticking to our guns, we're able to get other people, we're able to help other people be themselves, maintain their integrity, and they catch fire. Like Che Noir is catching fire.
Yep. Like Stove God is catching fire.
Stove God.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's good, because it really started a musical revolution in hip hop in terms of being back traditional, but mainly just having integrity, to sticking to your guns about what type of art you want to represent yourself, be out there, and not being like manipulated or forced to conform because you're trying to chase the bag.
That's a fact. And that's to be respected. That's legendary shit.
Yeah, that's legendary
shit. And it ain't to speak down on other people when I say that somebody like a Freddie Gibbs is reaping the benefits of the excitement that Griselda and Buffalo is you know what I mean? Because people is finding other artists that's doing similar styles of music, hip hop, traditional hip hop, whether it be a little hardcore, a little more life oriented. You know what I mean? They finding these artists.
You know what's it's so many benefits. As you're talking, stuff is just coming up in my mind. It's so many benefits to keeping your integrity as a person, but especially in this music business, and sticking to your guns of what you want to do, right? Because now it may take a little longer, but it's work. They've popped. You know what I mean? They've gotten praise from one of the highest places you can get praise from in the hip hop community. That's from Jay-Z, right? But not only have they now popped over here, but remember the style of music they're doing, they already set. So even if they never popped over here, they was already good for overseas.
That's a fact.
But now they're winning in both places. You know what I mean? They're winning in and out of their country because they're bringing that sound back. More and more people are gravitating to that because what we've been used to with the trap and even the drill now is becoming so much saturated, and is lacking certain depth of artistry and content.
Yeah.
So people are wanting more. And so, yeah, man. So, and that's the funny thing. Like Jadakiss said in the line, he said, don't chase the money. He said, you start chasing the money, that's when the money start running. Right?
Yeah.
So they're not chasing the bag, but because they wasn't, now they're getting bags in multiple places.
Yep. The whole squad, it seemed like they set to get bags.
Yeah.
Yep. Team after team after team. I just hope that unity persists, yo.
Me too.
I hope the unity persists. I don't see why it wouldn't.
I don't see why it wouldn't.
Because they seem like they got their heads on pretty straight up there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was thinking, do you remember the last time we did an episode about a new artist we found the artist that prompted us to do an episode?
No. Who was it?
Stove God.
Stove God. Okay, it's funny.
It was Stove God. So yet again, the next artist that prompted us.
From Syracuse.
Huh?
I say he's from Syracuse.
Upstate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Buffalo, Syracuse, like they killing it.
That's exactly why I mentioned that. It's like, yo, that region has produced 2 episodes on this podcast, and this ain't something we do.
Right.
I think, you know what I'm saying, maybe it's for the people that aren't regular listeners, maybe we should say that we don't spend our time just talking about a particular artist. We don't really review a lot of albums. We don't, you know what I'm saying? But in this situation here, yo, Shay blew my mind. I sent this to my girl.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you need to listen to her. She fire. She fire. It ain't nothing. That Apollo Brown album, yo.
Ooh.
Bro, like, some of the stuff she decided to talk about on that album, it's like, wow.
Yo, I meant to say this. You know it's real when Black Thought is on your album.
I was gonna get to that. That's another one of those people. Like, I remember when I listened to Rhapsody's Layla's Wisdom for the first time, and the album only had 3 features on it.
Mm-hmm.
Black Thought, Kendrick, and Busta Rhymes. And I was like, oh, she going for it. I remember when I listened to Plugs I Met, and the first joint had Black Thought as a feature. I was like, oh, Benny going for it. You see what I'm saying? When I heard Black Thought on this Che Noir album, I was like, oh, she did ready. Like, they throwing her to the wolves early. You know what I mean? And then she got Elzai on another joint, right?
She got.
It's not Elzai. It's
not Elzai. It's Skyzoo.
Skyzoo.
They're in Planet Asia.
You know, like, that's pretty ballsy, yo.
It is.
And she held her own.
She did on each one.
One thing. I think I brought this up to you. The joint she on with Skyzoo, right?
Yep. I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
I'm so enthralled. I was so enthralled with her as a, you know what I'm saying, her art. Like, that was, but when he came on, it let me understand where she can grow. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't in what she was saying or how she was saying it, but there's a level of mic control that he got that I know she could aspire to. So for as much as I like her,
yeah,
she could get better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's things she could work on.
Yeah. And
a lot of that stuff boils down to who's figured out what she should sound like and what mics makes her sound best and what, you know what I'm saying, what settings in the studio, like, you know, on the boards make her voice pop as much as they understand how to make his pop. You know what I mean? Like, that's all gonna come together. So I'm gonna actually enjoy her music more in the future than I do now. Yeah. That's scary.
It is, and it's something that's not generally said for most artists.
Nah. Most times you don't know where they gonna grow. Yeah. Or when you do figure out where they gonna grow, it sticks out as a flaw. This don't stick out as a flaw to her. You had to sit her beside a master to see the flaw. You see what I'm saying? You had to sit her beside a master to see the flaw.
Right. Which speaks to the level and her ability level at this point. That's crazy.
Facts.
So.
Facts. They're gonna say we dick ride.
Yeah, but we just speaking of facts. If they can argue anything that we presented, we up for it.
Fuck it. We ain't wrong. We don't come on here wrong. No way.
Is, you know what I mean? We established it with some evidence behind it.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
That's
so
a fact.
Huge shout out to the whole trust, but Che Noir. Our
Che
new
Noir.
favorite rapper.
A new favorite rapper.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. She's definitely my new favorite female rapper. I like her better than all the ones that I've listened to before now. How
Yes, me
about
too.
that? How about that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I enjoy her more than I've
I enjoy her
enjoyed
more
all
than
the
any
ones
other
that I've
female
listened
rapper
to.
I've heard.
Right all the ones that I listened to before now, I enjoy Che more.
Yeah.
Period. How about that? Full stop.
Yeah.
That's just the truth. That's where this episode started. We wait to
Yeah.
the end to say it, but that's where this episode
Yeah.
started.
That's where it started. Yeah. That's it right there. That's the punchline.
That's the punchline. We did good because we could have said this at the beginning, but I didn't even think about it. But like, we did good. We did good. But yeah, if that's what you've been waiting on, yeah, I like her better than everybody else. All the other females and a lot of the niggas.
Yeah,
A lot of you
it.
niggas getting smoked right now.
Yeah, most dudes, she's nicer than them.
Yeah.
She's the majority of rappers, 80% of them, she's smoking them.
And album for album this year, her joints is up there with Alfredo. They up there with, and she dropped 3 albums this year. Hold on. Let me say this too. The 3 albums that I listened to back to back all came out in 2020. I think the people need to understand that. This ain't even back catalog.
Yeah.
And her back catalog fire. I'm talking about that. The 3 albums I listened to back to back came out in 2020. So, come on.
She gave us 3 classics.
At least 3 masterpieces. I'll give them some time before I call them classics. But masterpieces, I can give them now.
Yeah. Yes, God Intended, Juno, and After 12. All 2020.
All 2020. And I'm talking about 100% playthroughs. You ain't got to skip nothing.
Yeah, you don't have to skip nothing. That's the beauty. That's when you're on to something.
Right. I didn't even think about reaching for the button. Like I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I like her better than all the ones that I've listened to before. Just to state it again, I like her better than every other female that I've listened to thus far. I enjoy Che more.
Right.
Period. So salute Che Noir or Che Noir. Yeah. How you say it? Che Noir. If you saying it properly. If you was born in Johnston County, you say Che Noir. But yeah, salute Che and the whole trust, yo. Like, yeah.
So I just want to throw this in here. Not, you know what I mean, but we mentioned it a little bit. But bro, do you understand what a Ransom album that's about to come out is going to sound like, with a mixture of probably Che and 38 and maybe some
Alchemist. Yeah, maybe a little Alchemist. And that production. That's getting ready to be crazy.
Yeah, because you know he's going to rap from beginning to end.
Ransom getting ready to be out of here, yo. Ransom getting ready to find his groove. And not that he's not in his groove. I'm talking about in his groove in the space.
Right.
Like he already in his groove as far as artistically. Yeah. And been in it. But I'm talking about in the space.
Yeah. Now check this out. His rap career has extended beyond his man that was rapping before him that kind of helped him get on, Joe Budden. But this is a point right here that I'm making. Joe Budden, it seemed like, was going to have the longer career. He had the one hit, Pump It Up. You know what I mean? Never had a hit after that. But this is an episode, Few Tang Clan, that's going to come. An episode we have to do is the greatest reinventions of hip hop. Because Ransom, I'm not saying he's one of the greatest, but he's one.
If this plays out how we think it might.
People don't understand. Jay is a reinvention.
Jay is a reinvention.
The whole we got
Yep.
is not the man from 1989. He reinvented himself.
That's a fact. He ain't the dude from 19. Came
out. He had reinvented himself.
He ain't the dude from 1992 293 when he was on original flavor.
Original flavor, right?
Yeah,
That's
original
what
flavor.
reinvented himself.
Yeah, he definitely
So,
reinvented himself.
like, who's the dude? Not Hit Boy, Hit Maker.
Oh,
Young Buck
Hitmaker. Yeah, Young Bird.
reinvented himself.
Two
So I
Chains.
want we have to do
2 Chains went from Titty Boy to 2
two things.
Chains. Like,
Yeah.
big reinvention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to do that episode.
Mm-hmm.
We got to do that episode. That'd be a good one. Ransom get ready to come back crazy though.
Whew.
Yeah, he getting ready to come back crazy, but I don't think he ever really stopped doing what he was doing.
Yeah, yeah.
He just getting another shot at it. You know what I mean?
Shot at it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's. I'm excited to see what's gonna come up from like the rest of those projects up that way, like whatever they may be. You know, Griselda, Trust, BSF. I have yet to listen to the Flea Lord joint all the way through.
Yeah.
In the name of Prodigy.
Like,
I've listened to a few
Havoc
joints that I enjoy. Yeah, I think it's all produced by Havoc.
Yeah. All produced by Havoc, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, this era, the beginning of this era that we in right now is. Whew. You remember those conversations we had about traditional hip hop being like jazz?
Yeah.
They may be saving us, bro.
Yeah.
All those predictions that we had on those episodes before of what the outcome of hip hop would be and where we was headed. This may be the arc, nigga.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
You know
what I mean? Upstate New York is the arc, man.
It's the arc.
We
just gonna start calling it the arc, fam.
Yeah,
it's the arc, yo. I ain't mad at it. I wish it could have been North Carolina, but hell, it ain't.
I know.
It's upstate New York. That's the arc right now, yo. If you ain't getting on the arc, you subject to get washed away.
Yo, that's the truth.
With the flim flam, you gotta be, you know. It's some art now. There's some artists. And I ain't gonna call it all flim flam. It's some dope trap. It's some dope melodic. It's some dope drill. Like it's some dope some art in there. But that as the face of who we are as a people is ridiculous.
Right. And I will say this though, that there's not enough art in that.
Right.
In that area of drill and trap.
Right.
Like Travis Scott, there's some art. For real,
yeah,
you know what I mean. But there's not enough art in drill and in the melodic trap or just regular trap. Yeah. You know what I mean, as it should be. But that as being the face of our people is ridiculous.
That's a bit ridiculous. Yeah, we need balance, and there's an arc in upstate New York that's providing balance to the game. And
that's upstate New York, man. It's the Ark of the Covenant. People thought they found like the lost Ark of the Covenant, and like it was said to be found in Egypt.
Yeah,
you know I mean,
shit in Buffalo.
Yeah, Covenant. We found it.
We found it.
So, it's New York. We found the Ark of the Covenant.
No doubt. That's dope. Yeah, we be uncovering some shit on this show, fam. We know what we doing. It's good hip hop talk.
Yeah, don't get no better. This is the upper echelon of hip hop talk.
Man. This is the Ark of the Covenant of hip hop talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, son, for real. Oh man, I think we gave Shay enough flowers. What you think, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so, bro. Like, up next, bro. She it. She got it. You think we need anything else? You think we need to cover though?
Oh man. No, I think we got it all. I think we covered it.
All right, well, cool. If that's the case, then I'm gonna ask the people to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like this episode. Ring the notification bell so you'll know every episode come out. Share the show with your friends because that's the only way they're gonna know we here. Because otherwise, they won't know. Trust me, because we ain't spending a dime marketing this bad boy. So we need your help. I'm begging you. But go subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify especially. And go follow us at Conversate for a Few on Instagram and Facebook, and join on Facebook. Join the Conversate for a Few Facebook page, man. We been having some popping conversations on there. And look for us on Clubhouse at John and Avery. Where you at on Clubhouse?
What am I? Allen Podcaster.
Allen Podcaster. Yeah, that was dope. I should have done that for myself, but you got me. But I think that's it, bro. Stay tuned for the limited edition Few Tang Clan merch. It's coming. I'm actually buying printing machines my damn self, so we're gonna print some shirts, damn it. But yeah, they coming. So with that being said, yo, I'm Jonna.
I'm Allen. This was not a podcast about classical music.
Absolutely was not. This is a podcast about hip hop. Make room for the tag.
Yo, I actually was going to say this was not a podcast about classical music. It was a podcast about Che Noir.
You should have. Yeah. You should have. I still might put it in there.
Conversate for a few.
Hustle, welcome, man, they had to send me. Hustle from Raleigh, live from NC with your hosts, John and Allen. Relate to the two. You are now listening to Conversate for a Few. Check it on SoundCloud, debate with your crew. They talking hip hop from the late to the new. From July till June end. No Fridays for me. Tune in. Please listen to this podcast. 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 Please listen to this podcast.